Hey guys, now we are back at our favorite classic car event in Malaysia by far. I'm at Asia Klasika 2013 and boy, we have more cars that are shinier and are oh so good looking. And this year we're celebrating a host of birthdays. Now we're going to be looking at them. Now of course you've got the Porsches behind me because we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the 911. Now you cannot get any more legendary than that, and I promise you for the next couple of minutes you will be astounded by the quality of classic cars available right here in our beloved country Malaysia. Let's go and check them out. Okay, now let's take a closer look at some of the criteria that the judges will be looking at. Now what you're seeing is, you know, these gentlemen in purple t-shirts are actually doing the judging for each of these cars. Now, generally speaking, the cars are divided into three categories. For cars built before 1960, we call them the vintage cars. 61 to 75 are the classic cars, and 76 to 89 are the modern classics. So we have a good selection of vintage classics and modern classics. Now, what will the judges be looking at? As you can see, they're paying close attention to what's going on in the car. From the outside, the exterior, to the interior, to right here. Look at this engine bay. It is spick and span and shiny. So these are some of the stuff that the judges will be looking out for. And also the most important thing is the originality. Yes, your car might look like it's $1 million, but if the parts are not of the real deal and what you have in your car is not what the car had when it rolled out of the factory line, now points will be deducted for that. Now we don't want that. What we want here for a classic car concourse is to maintain its originality down, all the way down to the very paint color. If this paint was not available on this car when it was sold back when it first rolled out of the factory, points will be deducted for that. That is how serious these guys are when it comes to classic cars. Of course, every year we will be looking out for that extra special best in show car. But every year our royal patron, His Royal Highness the Sultan of Johor, will actually come and pick his personal favorite for the car that he thinks is the best in show for himself. And this year, this is the car that has won it. A beautiful, original classic 911. This Porsche 911 was built in 1967 and the owner, Chris Au from Singapore, has taken extreme care and effort to restore it to its original condition. The car was picked by His Royal Highness the Sultan of Johor as his personal favourite at the show. Now I'm here at the Lamborghini booth and it's a very special year for Lamborghini because it's their 50th anniversary and I've got a spread of extra special Lambos for the consumption of everybody here. Now, I've always wanted to do this. This is a Lamborghini Countach and it's not just any Countach. This was once owned by the BG himself, Mr. Barry Gibb. Now, wow, this is a wow car. And then we come over here behind us, we have the Lamborghini Gallardo Super Trofeo Cup, and then we have a rare Lamborghini Jalpa. And then, if I come over here, an even rarer Lamborghini LMW2. Now, this is the only Lamborghini that doesn't quite look like a sports car. But even though it looks like a Humvee, inside it has the same engine as that rip-roaring Lamborghini Countach. Now we want to find out more. All right, so stay with us. See, like I said, the LMW2 is an extremely rare car. I've only seen one other in London. So we have the Chief of Operations for the Asia Pacific and Asia Pacific region of Lamborghini, Mr. Sebastian Henry, who's going to tell us a little bit about the car. Sebastian, thank you so much for joining us. Now, I've only seen one in Mayfair.
Yes, it's very, very rare. They were made in the 80s, from 86 to 92 more or less. Only 330 were produced, so it's really not a lot. And this was an extreme car. It's the first super sport SUV ever. No one before us had the idea to put a V12 engine into an SUV vehicle. Only Lamborghini could do that, obviously.
Yeah.
And this had become very, very successful over the years because this was the only offer for this kind of car. So it started as a very, very utility vehicle. And then year after year, we added leather and air conditioning and electric windows and more luxury and hi-fi system. So this car became really the most popular car for some of the happy fews in the world.
But I can really not imagine taking one of these babies out onto something other than pristine tarmac. Do people actually do that?
Yes, I mean, this car was mainly successful in the Middle East.
Okay.
As you can imagine, after the mid-70s, these countries boomed economically thanks to the oil. So in the 80s, this was the perfect timing for these new clients to enjoy this type of car. The Countach that was launched some years before with the V12 engine was already very popular in the Middle East, but they were struggling in the desert, of course. So when this car arrived with the same V12 engine and in a Countach, but in a big 4x4, they were so happy that the car was very successful there. So yes, there they were using the car really on tough off-road conditions. Nothing to do with Chelsea or Mayfair.
Sebastian, thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it from the horse's mouth himself. A little bit more about the LMW2. Check. I've won! Look, I've won Best in Show! Well, if you think that this car looks familiar, well, it should be, because this is also the car that won the Best in Show in last year's Asia Klasika. Now, this beautiful 1965 MGB is owned by Mr. Sinasamy, and we did interview with him last year, and boy, this car looks like it rolled out of the showroom just yesterday. Now, you know why this car won. It's because the level of attention has been put into the preservation and also restoration of this car is unparalleled. It is just an absolutely beautifully preserved classic beauty, and that is precisely why this car has been awarded the Best in Show in Asia Klasika 2013. All right, so we'll see you again next year. My name is Saif Hardin Omar. We're signing off from Asia Klasika 2013. Bye-bye.